Hi, I'm Simon Sporter, and welcome to the latest video in our series, bringing interesting people from the tennis world to you to hear what they've got to say. Now, welcome today. I've got Anne-Marie and I've got Richard. They are from the Tennis Blacklist. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, Simon. How's it going?
Thanks for having us, Simon.
It's great to have you with us today. And this is a whole subject that I've been learning about and finding how interesting it is by speaking to both of you. But I want to bring it to more people in tennis so they can find out more about it and see all the hard work that you've been doing and why you both feel as passionate about it as you obviously do, because I get that every time I speak to you both. And I'd like everybody to be able to share in that and engage with it. So let's tell me a bit about yourselves. You can take turns, or you can both talk at the same time. I don't mind. Tell me about your backgrounds. Where do you come from? What have you been doing?
I'm happy to kick us off. So yeah, my full name is Richard Sackey-Addo. In terms of my tennis journey, I've been playing, involved in tennis since I was very young. I kind of fell into it accidentally, as I'm always reminded by my family. I was too small at the time to be playing football. And at the time, there weren't all those sessions, for tennis tots and all, sessions for sports for really young children. So they said, "Oh, he's too small for football. Maybe try tennis over there." They took me to tennis. I didn't like it. I just wanted to play football. And after a while, as I'm always told, I was that grumpy kid on the court who didn't want to do anything. But after a good few weeks, the coach really got me involved, and I kind of had some natural ability, and we went from there. And I've played ever since. I started coaching, my LTA coaching qualifications from when I was 15. I'm currently a level 2 coach, and I used to coach part-time whilst I was at uni. Also did some strength and conditioning work in tennis. And then kind of more professionally, full-time, a lot of that started with being a university tennis coordinator whilst I was at University of Bedfordshire. So that was a really great experience to start to understand the tennis landscape, particularly in the county of Bedfordshire and the region and kind of more nationally. And then also to have a real handling in, participation in tennis, helping teams that were playing competitively in bucks. And then from there, yeah, my first job, full time, if you will, was working for the International Tennis Federation, where I worked in their coach education team, part of the wider development department. So that was really fantastic to take my coaching knowledge and to another level, to meet people from all across the world, to be able to again understand the tennis landscape, but more from an international point of view. And then for the last just hit 6 years working for the International Tennis Integrity Agency. So we work on behalf of all of the international governing bodies of tennis. And we deal with anti-corruption and anti-doping in professional tennis. So I work in the education team. So yeah, tennis is firmly, as I said, been a part of my life for many, many, many years. I love the sport. First and foremost, like Anne-Marie, I'm a fan. I love the game. I love following the tour. I still compete and play for my club in South Croydon. I still follow
Tours, Rich. Tours.
tours. Yeah, exactly. 100%. I follow the tours, all of them. I see them as one because I just love
Yeah,
any
yeah, they
tennis.
do blur, don't they? Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Any tennis that's
Anne-Marie managed to get in there. Come on, Anne-Marie, tell us about yourself now. You've heard enough from Richard.
yeah. Never say such thing. Richard's a great. He doesn't believe it. He's a really good talker. I always say to him, he's such a good talker. Anyway, hi everyone. My name's Anne-Marie Batson. I work in sports media. That's my side of things. So for me, grew up watching tennis on the TV, used to race home after primary school. My mum would buy me the newspaper, which would have the draws inside, and I'd watch on CFAX and fill in the draws, etc., etc. Just really loved it, and always been in love with media since I studied it at secondary school, college, and university as well. So I'm well educated in terms of media. Um, when I did a whole load of things after university, and then worked in PR for a long time, and then decided one day that I've just had enough, really wanted to get into sports journalism. So I made the switch. So I worked evenings, weekends for free, doing anything, just building up my portfolio, my experience, building up my contacts. And it really didn't get going until just before the pandemic, actually. Got the opportunity to commentate on some matches for the LTA, and bumped into somebody actually who had seen me, had heard me, and said, "Oh, we think you've got a really nice radio voice. Have you ever thought about doing tennis commentary? Have you ever thought about doing tennis reporting?" So I went and did some a little bit of work experience with the Voice newspaper. They sent me to Wimbledon. I did match reporting, interviewed the players, and it's just grown from there, really. And as Rich said, massive fan of tennis. I'm very much that side about the human element of tennis. I know Rich, that's why we complement each other quite well, because he's very much about the coaching side, the technical side, the tactical side. I'm very much about human interest stories, what makes them tick, the drama, love a bit of drama that happens on the tours as well, the beefs and all that kind of thing. So yes, that's my background in tennis. Massive. Somebody said, Anne-Marie, you are tennis. Tennis is your sport. And I said, yeah, that's it, 100%.
Great. I love it. So today we're here to talk about the tennis blacklist. Who's going to tell us what it is?
Anne-Marie, I'll hand to you.
Oh, well, it's the tennis blacklist is a project that Rich and I came together on. And it was actually, Richard was approached first by Leon Mann, MBE, have to throw that in, obviously. He is the co-founder of the Football Blacklist, and him and Richard had a conversation and had suggested that it was time for a similar initiative in the world of tennis. He knew that I worked in tennis. He knew that Richard worked in tennis, and suggested that we got together. And we got together just before the pandemic, actually. And just got chatting over Zoom, and we threw out a whole load of ideas. And because Leon had said to us and planted that seed, because I think he knew what he was doing, said, why not have a tennis blacklist, have an awards, celebrate the people that work in the sport who are Black or mixed Black heritage, showcase, highlight, do it. And we were a little bit like, not sure, but we went and had conversations with people. That was the thing. We did do our due diligence, and we did go and speak to people, didn't we, Rich, about what do you think about having an awards and focusing on the Black community and the mixed Black community. And the feedback we got, Rich, wasn't it, was, yeah, we need something like this. This is fantastic. When you're going to have it? And then all of a sudden we found ourselves within a 6-month period organizing the tennis blacklist, the first one.
Yeah, and I think ultimately with everything, with our awards and with some of the feedback with people when we spoke to them initially, was this is all about, the whole thing is about celebration. It's about celebration of people. It's about bringing people together to have more opportunity in tennis like we've had, and to bring people into our great game.
Okay, so we'll talk about the awards in a moment, but from the perspective, are you showcasing what people are doing in tennis, their journeys, whether they be players, coaches, officials, people working in clubs? Is it highlighting, showcasing, creating role models? What would you say is your USP on this, and what really drives this forward, aside from awards?
Hard work.
Yeah, hard work. But yeah, absolutely, as you say, 100% we are about highlighting role models. There are lots of people that we know about, or that the governing bodies might know about, that do fantastic work that is seen or is known about. But we also, what we came together so strongly on when we first started talking to each other was, oh, I know all of these people in my kind of professional network or personal network. You know those people over there. Lots of these people are doing incredible work wherever they are in the country or more worldwide. How about we bring them together and other people can learn about them from different areas of the game? I think is really important. A lot of the time in sport, with participation, people just think about the players, the coaches, and to a degree, the officials, which are, all massively important. But what about people who want to be content creators? What about people that want to work in the administration of the game? What about people with sports science backgrounds? There is so much opportunity for people to get involved and to find their little niche or their space in this sport. We want to help amplify that, amplify the great stories, and for us all to learn from each other and to support each other and the wider tennis community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like Rich said, it's about getting people under the one roof. This was the first time we actually got a huge amount of people under the one roof since the pandemic, really. And I think tennis at times is a little bit guilty of just being very siloed, and everyone just goes off and rightly do their thing, but actually getting everybody under the same roof, having that opportunity to have a chat, conversation, meet each other, maybe exchange numbers, hopefully work together in the future, is a massive thing, because we know this industry very much operates on the fact of people, of knowing someone who knows someone who knows somebody else. And how are you supposed to get into that circle, so to speak? So having that opportunity, not just having the awards, but about networking, meeting people in real life as well, which is so important, was something that drove us quite strongly for Rich and I.
Okay, so you're telling stories, you're highlighting what people are doing in tennis already, and you're basically saying you can do it too.
I would say, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, that's
So
right.
the door is open, just push through it and get on with it. So the awards is obviously something which you're doing now on an annual basis. Tell me something about the awards and how that in effect brings everything together that you're doing throughout the year to that crescendo, if you like.
Well, everyone loves a celebration, right? Everyone loves a bit of fun and coming together, particularly in the post-pandemic world that we live in. And obviously, running our first event back in 2023, we didn't even know how it would go. We tried to keep it relatively small, initially, and we had a very varied guest list, people of all backgrounds, all walks of life, all colors, all sort of heritages in the room, people not just from the tennis world, from the wider sporting world, from outside, outside of sport even. And one of the main bits of feedback people were saying is, as Anne-Marie alluded to earlier, this is great. We've not had this before for this kind of community or these groups of people. I've just met this person who does that there. I've learned about that person who does amazing stuff. We're going to continue a chat going, forwards after this night. And that's what we want to do. And doing it in a fun, relaxed environment.
Yeah.
Sometimes with awards, I'm sure we all know sometimes they can be they can drag on or be maybe a little bit stuffy, or again, it's quite keeping those silos together. We're all about making it be relaxed, fun, so that people can really network, get to know each other in a slightly different environment and around different people than to what they might be used to.
Yeah, and also the awards are really varied as well. It's like Rich mentioned earlier, it's not just about players and coaches, it's administrators as well. We've got an icon award, we've got a media award, we've got a rising star award, as well as player and coaches and a couple of others as well. So it's quite wide ranging in terms of the people that are lucky to be a recipient of the awards, because we want to showcase, as Rich said at the beginning, it's not just about what happens on the court. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes as well, and I think that's reflected in the awards that are given out on the night.
Okay, so that's a few of the awards that you are giving out each year, and they evolve, I imagine. So they'll evolve from last year to this year to next year as categories change and the relevance of those categories changes. But it's also, I always believe that you were talking about types of different awards being fun and that type of thing. I always think that it's important to keep them relevant and make them interesting, that people say, something, I won this award and that's because of this and because of that. It's not kind of, oh, let's do this award because we have to do this award.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
I think with our categories, as you say, we have to be dynamic with it and we have to keep moving. And there are some areas still of the industry, the tennis industry, that are severely underrepresented by the Black and mixed heritage communities. And that's potential opportunity for us in the future to get people onto some of those pathways and to start people getting onto those journeys, within whatever part that we don't see many people from our community in at the moment. But there's potential to do that in the future. It might be that one person who goes and leads the way for others to follow, or someone comes out of wherever they are, or someone, writes to us and says, hey, actually, I know this person doing great work in this space. Have you heard of them? Or can you amplify what they're doing a bit more?
And I'd also add to that, the thing that I'm quite strong about, because I can't speak for Rich on this, is that we're not going to give out an award for the sake of giving out an award. That's something I'm really adamant about, because I've been to award ceremonies and I know people have just got it for the sake of it. And I think that kind of dilutes what you're trying to do. And I'm assured that, the conversations I've had with Rich, like, we are giving this award because this person has done this, and we're not giving it to them because for the sake of doing it. It's because they've delivered something that we might not necessarily know about. We haven't given it to someone because they're just doing their day job, if that makes sense. Yeah. They've actually been somebody who's raised awareness, or they're the first person to do this, or they've done this. Do you know what I mean? They're not getting an award simply because they're Black.
So they've got to be above it. It's got to be above and beyond, and really bring something to the sport in one way or another.
Yeah, because otherwise it dilutes it, doesn't it, Rich?
Yeah, and we take expertise from that. It's important to note we work with a steering group which was created to have people with specialisms in different areas of the sport. Anne-Marie's got a media and broadcasting background. I don't have that background. I don't know some of the people in that side of the sport or how that side works. I'm from more of the kind of administration and kind of coaching side. There's someone with a real coaching and tutoring background, someone with D&I. So again, we want to make it as broad as possible the specialisms we have for people to be able to choose. As one, again, a way we made it dynamic this year, or for the 2024 awards compared to the previous year, was people saying, the amount of people who came and said, I know this person, how do I get them to be nominated? Or how do I get them to do an award? And which is why we opened up to the award categories this year to public nomination, because we fully acknowledge we don't know everyone, and we don't hold the keys to the industry. Let's hear from you. You tell us who should be.
So that kind of brings me on to my next question, because obviously I'm going to put some details of what the deadlines are for nominations, for example, for 2024, and then it will be a similar for 2025 and similar deadlines, which we'll obviously be able to broadcast to everybody. But how do you nominate? If I wanted to nominate somebody, is it open to me, or is it, you said it's a bit more than just a very tight grouping. How do I do it?
Well, the first thing to say that there are 2 awards that are open for nomination. So for this time round, it will be Game Changer in the Community, which is very much a regional award. That's what kind of transpired last year. Our 2 winners from 2023, one was from Cardiff and one was from the Southeast. So we kind of thought, well, actually, it would be great if we can make this kind of like a regional award. So this is for somebody who has just made a epic change within their local community. Whether it's regional, community organisation. There's more information which I can share with you guys. So that one's open to public nomination. And the second one is coaching and performance, which pretty much does what it says on the tin. Is there a coach out there who has transformed someone's life, whether they're amateur or even a professional, but deserves some recognition? And the question you asked, Simon, about is it open to somebody, like 100%, it's open to everybody, whether you're individual or you're a organisation or even a venue. A venue might have a local community group delivering some sort of initiative within the local area. They can nominate. So it's an open book for everybody. If you know someone, the only requirement is in the terms of criteria is that they have to be Black or mixed Black heritage, and that's the only thing I would say on that front. And in terms of for people to nominate, we're being very modern, I'm afraid. Everything's been done on social media. So at Tennis Blacklist for both our X and Instagram account, if you go onto those accounts, you'll be able to see there's a post advertising the nominations. Click on the Google link form and it will take you to a form to complete.
Okay, great. And we'll repeat all of that anyway to make sure people haven't missed that. So how will, once you've got winners and or some really strong nominations, how are they going to be celebrated? And how are you going to, if you like, spread the word of what they've been doing? Because let's face it, it's going to be way beyond the winners, people who should be celebrated, or at least in my view. How will you get the message out there?
So in terms of what, go on, Richard, go on.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so the nominations, once they come in, we have our steering group and we'll sift through them all, and then we'll compile who we think are worthy recipient of the award, and then we will make an announcement on social media. We will notify the winners beforehand, of course. We give them a few days beforehand, just so the excitement settles in that they're getting an award, and then we go public with it, and then they will be celebrated on the night, surrounded by their friends and family, colleagues, and other people as well as they come up to get their award. And then we would look to follow that up on social media as well, saying here's, you know, the winner on the night, and then do some follow up on our socials and hopefully a website by that time as well. Okay. Anything to add there, Rich?
Yeah,
no, I think that's great. Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, again, amplifying via social media as you have to be in today's world. So that's probably one of the biggest ways.
You know, I just suddenly thought, I just remembered, like for 2023, because I was hosting it, as you do, Rich was really good in terms of getting people to send the winners, when they were told, we asked them to send over their bios and what they had done as well. So on the night, when introducing the winner, I would read, you know, a paragraph about why this person was a deserving recipient of the award. And the stuff we learned about some of our winners, which would just blow your mind, Simon, honestly. I mean, I could regale you now, but we don't have all day. But it again highlight, instead of just going the winner is blah 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 blah, we would say X is the winner of X because they've done this, this, and this, and they've done this, this, and this, and people say this, this, and this about them. It was great, and it really painted a really strong picture of why this person was such a deserving winner as well. Wouldn't you say, Rich?
I'd agree with that, and I'm sure Simon, with the great work you do with the volunteering community, there are some amazing stories of people who go above and beyond just because of love for the game and like love for their communities, or just they really want to do it, and those things are just really make this all so much worth it and worthwhile for what we're trying to achieve.
So I think if I've got it right, last year the Lawn Tennis Association allowed you to do the awards down at the NTC, the National Tennis Centre. Is that going to be happening again this year?
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing. I love partnerships. I love the fact that they are bringing you on board and supporting you and pushing things forward. Anything else either of you would like to add before we close today?
That's a
I
great
think,
question.
yeah, that's a good one. I
I've
think.
caught you out, haven't I?
No, I think just to yeah, please do give us a follow or drop us an email, or if we're ever in the same space at a tennis event or somewhere, just come and chat to Anne-Marie and I and say hi. Or if you want to find out more information, that's something we had previously, is people just coming to chat to us to ask us questions, because you can't say everything in a press release or on a social media post. So this means a lot to both of us and to the people that we work with throughout the year on this project, and we're so passionate about growing this and growing particularly the community and the network, and having more opportunities for people to learn from each other, because at the end of the day, it's all going to make having more representation from our community, and we can only speak on behalf of our community. Yes, there are other communities underrepresented in tennis, but we can only speak from our lived experience. But at the end of the day, having that better representation is going to make for a stronger tennis ecosystem and a stronger tennis landscape. And we could have the next help identify the next president of the LTA or the WTA, or someone who's going to do amazing things on court or become a parent to an amazing player. All of those things, you don't know who we might be bringing together. So please do see our progress. We're in it for the long haul. This isn't just a 1 or 2 year type thing. There's every year we want to get bigger and better and bring more people into what we're trying to achieve.
Anne-Marie?
Oh, nothing to add. Richard has put it brilliantly.
Thanks.
Absolutely, yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Nothing else to add to that. It's great.
So look, the more we can get this out there, the more people who find out about it, the more allies that you
100%.
have in what
That's a
you're
great
trying to
word.
achieve, the better. So
Yeah.
well done so far.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to the future and looking forward to you coming back to see us soon. And good luck with the awards this year. And thanks for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you, Tyler.
you.
Thanks for having us.